Yes, yep.
Now, finally, in the survey, so 26% of small businesses surveyed said they would be unable to service or deliver to some customers or certain areas once the ULEZ is introduced. And at what point, so, you know, what can you do, Mr. Mayor, as, you know, a pro-business mayor, as you said you are?
Well, yeah,
I know you have sort of touched on it, but is there any more we can do?
Absolutely. There's always more we can do. It's just really important to complete a complete picture, because I know you wouldn't want to directly or indirectly, intentionally or unintentionally mislead people. Businesses are in favour of this.
No, I leave that to you.
The CBI is supportive of ULEZ, demonstrating that I'm a pro-business mayor. London First, supportive of my ULEZ. LCCI have a large number of members who are road users who are broadly supportive. The businesses are lobbying us to expand ULEZ to the North and South Circular, from Arriva to Balfour.
Can I just correct you there, Mr. Mayor?
So we are speaking to businesses.
Can I just correct you there? Because, you know, this is in good humour, I think, and I appreciate that for a change. You're saying your ULEZ, it is obviously our ULEZ. We thought of it first. You do appreciate your predecessor.
Chair, I think we're seeing the start of a U-turn here.
No.
This is really important.
No.
So the Conservatives are now claiming they are in favour of ULEZ beginning on April the 8th. I think this may be a U-turn. Now the question is, does Assembly Member Bailey agree with you, or does he disagree with you?
Mr.
I look
Mayor,
forward to Assembly Bailey.
Mr. Mayor, it's not a U-turn, it's a ULEZ.
You're very quiet.
When Assembly Member
Chair,
Bailey
that's
is
silence
sitting
from
in your
Assembly
chair,
Member Bailey
he
shows,
will answer
just
the
like in
question.
Parliament,
Mr.
the
Chairman,
Conservative Party here is divided.
Mr. Chairman, can I just, I mean, this is coming about our time, but can I just remind the Mayor that we ask the questions. It's not your position to ask the questions of the Assembly members. So,
Chair, I'm sorry we've seen another Tory split here.
So, there's no split. We're 300% behind Mr. Bailey, and we look very much forward to him sitting in that chair come 2020.
So, Chair, I'm unclear. So what is the Conservative position as of 11:35 on the 7th of February? Because I'm sure it'll change by tomorrow.
The point has been fairly made by Assembly Member Prince that you don't ask the questions, he does.
Right.
Yeah.
So, and I was trying to help you there, Mr. Mayor, but is there any more you can do to help small businesses?
Okay, well, Chair, I'm not sure which question, because the previous question was, it's worth just, Chair, being accurate, because I know you'd want to be so, Chair. The previous question began with a proposition that the Conservative Party are in favour of this ULEZ.
Chairman, on a point
I
of
was
order,
trying to.
Point of order, Chairman. The Mayor is deliberately wasting our time. He was asked a very clear question there. Is there more you can do to help small businesses? He's deliberately wasting our time, and everyone in this room knows that's exactly what he is doing. Can we please have a time added back on? If the Mayor wants to grandstand in this way, fine. But we'd like to have another 5 minutes on our time.
Let me answer. It is the responsibility of members to keep the Mayor on track. If you think that the Mayor is filibustering, tell him so. It's not my job to tell him.
It is your job.
Mr. Chairman,
you conduct the meeting.
Sorry, excuse me.
I'm conducting the meeting.
Excuse me.
I am conducting the meeting, and I expect members to hold the Mayor to account.
Right. Excuse me, it's my question. What I'm going to do, actually, Chair, is I am going to withdraw the question, because I've given the Mayor more than one opportunity to, and it was, you know, genuinely trying to be helpful, to tell Londoners how he can help small businesses more in relation to ULEZ. He's chosen instead, regrettably, to just grandstand and try and make political points. So I'll withdraw the opportunity for him to get some good publicity for himself. Thank you very much.
Okay, Assembly Member Hall.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I think the point being we agree with the ULEZ, but not being brought in when it is, because it is damaging small businesses. And you say you're going to be the most pro-business mayor ever. There's absolutely no evidence of that going forward whatsoever. You've said you expect the opening of ULEZ to run pretty smoothly. So if it does go badly or less well than you think it's going to go, will you learn lessons from that and consider making changes to your plans for the 2021 expansion?
Well, Chair, I'm glad we've got clarity. The Conservative Party opposes ULEZ beginning this April 2019. Those businesses that support ULEZ beginning as I've planned to do so are the CBI, which is a business organisation, London First, which represents over 200 of London's leading employers, the London Chamber of Commerce and Industry.
Can you answer the question, Mr. Mayor, please?
I'm sorry, Chair, but the question contained a premise that this was not pro-business. It is pro-business, as indeed is the current Mayor.
Can you answer the question?
I think I just did, Chair.
Yes. Can you just concentrate on the questions I'm asking you? And I'm actually saying to you, if the ULEZ does not run smoothly, like you seem to think it will, which is amazing because so many other things you do doesn't, if things go badly or less well than you expect, will you then learn lessons from that and seek to at least make changes to your plans for the 2021 expansion?
Well, Chair, I know the Conservatives oppose ULEZ beginning on April the 8th, but we're keen to make it work as best as we can on April the 8th, 2019. And there's a very important reason why. Each year in London, thousands of Londoners die prematurely.
Yeah, you're not answering the question again, are you, Mr. Mayor?
Well, Chair, I'll ask the question as I think is best to answer the question. I appreciate it doesn't suit the party political interests of the member asking the question. It's not my fault if her party opposes a policy supported by 82% of Londoners.
I'm asking,
who
Mr.
respond
Mayor,
to the
if it doesn't
consultation.
go well, will you look at the
policy.
2021 expansion? It's quite a simple question.
Chair, listen, I appreciate that it's very difficult for the Conservatives to oppose a policy that is directly targeting one of the biggest killers of London prematurely.
You've told us that several times.
Well, the question's been asked several times, Chair.
No.
But you've not answered
the Assembly
the
member
question.
doesn't think that you're answering the question.
Well, she's entitled to think what she wants, Chair.
No, the whole point of this is we ask you questions, you're supposed to answer. It's a very simple question, Mr. Mayor, especially for you. The simple question is, if the ULEZ does not run smoothly, and we're pleased that you think it will do, but if it doesn't, will you learn lessons from that and consider making changes to the plans for the 2021 expansion?
Well, Chair, listen, Chair, can I just say, I don't mind at all. As rude as the Assembly wants to be, I'm used to Tories being rude to me. The point is this.
I don't think she's being rude
This policy,
to you.
well, you would you, Tony? Well, you wouldn't. Well, you wouldn't, Chair. Chair, you know, I long for the day when we have an impartial chair. Maybe when we've got a new one, that day will come.
Answer the
now,
question?
I appreciate, Chair, I appreciate how divided the Tory group on the London Assemblies. I get this.
You and Jeremy
I appreciate
Corbyn.
the problems that you have. But I do not resolve from the fact we have in London a situation where thousands of Londoners are dying prematurely because of the bad
Mr.
quality
Mayor,
air.
stop,
We have a
because you're
situation
not
in
answering the
London.
question.
You're
where
saying
I have
it's
a policy
again, it's
that's being
again.
opposed by the
Shall we
Conservative
try
Party.
another
But I'm
question,
in
Mr. Mayor, that
favour
you might
of
want
this
to
policy being
answer?
brought in on April the 8th.
Shall we try another one that you might choose to answer? Because clearly you don't know the answer to that very simple question. So the next question, how many Londoners does TfL estimate will be forced off the road in April due to not being able to afford to run or replace their non-compliant car?
Well, Chair, can I welcome the young children who are in the Assembly to watch this behaviour? Can I just say to the children, that's what Conservatives do, they're very rude.
Can you answer,
But
can
let's
you
not have you
answer
behave
the
on
question?
this side of the room. You're most welcome. Chair, the answer to one of the questions asked by the Assembly member, I think the most recent one, was a question based on a premise that I don't accept, which is people being forced off the road. What I'm hoping we do see is behaviour change from those who currently drive into London with a vehicle that's contributing to the bad quality air in our city. So, for example, we know there are people driving into the congestion charge area whose vehicles emit too much nitrogen dioxide, nitrogen oxide and particulate matter. And for those children watching, what this can lead to is your lungs being underdeveloped forever.
Can you just
and so what I'm trying to do,
concentrate
children,
on the
is to have a
question,
policy
Mr. Mayor?
that reduces the chance
yeah.
of you having lungs that are underdeveloped. That's why it's
Mr.
so
Mayor,
important
you're using up
to
our
clean up the air
time.
in London.
I thought the question was about people being forced off the road because of the affordability
Absolutely.
of your charge.
Well, Chair, and I made the point in answer to my question, is that I don't accept the premise of the question, which is people being forced off the road. What I think will happen, as we've seen with the toxicity charge, and we've already seen, hopefully, in the lead up to the ultra emission zone, is people changing their behaviour. Because, for example, they may choose to buy a Euro 6 compliant vehicle if it's diesel, or a Euro 4 compliant vehicle if it's petrol, or a Euro 3 compliant vehicle if it's, say, motorcycle, or some people may decide to walk or cycle or use public transport.
And the most poor in our society often can't afford to replace these.
Well,
Mr.
Chair, it's
Mayor,
really
do you
important again,
accept that
Chair,
with car
there's a false
tax-
premise in that
hang
question.
on,
Because what
no,
we do
you
know...
don't answer the questions. That is the problem. This is another question. Try this one. Do you accept that with car tax and insurance, the cost of MOTs, taxes on fuels as well, potentially the congestion charge and the ULEZ, London motorists are already charged a huge amount? So can you tell me, what are your thoughts around road pricing?
Well, Chair, the question contained a premise at the beginning, which is the poorest Londoners will suffer the most.
No.
It's worth reminding...
That was
I
last
thought
question.
that was the preview. I thought that was
What
the
are
previous
your
question.
thoughts on
We're on
road?
road pricing now.
What are your thoughts, Mr. Mayor, on road pricing? Other members here have brought it up. Some of us are absolutely not for it. You clearly need to know where you stand on it. So can you tell us where you stand on road pricing?
Well, Chair, the point I was going to make, which is an important point, is the poorest Londoners are least likely to own a car.
Can you tell
The
us where you
poorest Londoners
stand
are
on
the
road
most likely
pricing?
to suffer the worst consequences of the poor quality air. So it's really important to realise this is an issue of social justice. And unlike the Conservative Party, we believe in addressing
Road
issues of
pricing,
social justice.
Mr.
You're
Mayor.
not being asked about social justice, Mr. Mayor. You're being asked what your views are on road pricing.
Chair, I know you're against social justice, but the
No,
question
no,
is...
Mr. Mayor, don't
Premise.
impute
Can
motive
you
to me.
please answer?
Answer a question.
What are your thoughts on road pricing?
Well, Chair, the transport strategy that I've published some time ago, and I'm disappointed that the Assembly hasn't taken the trouble to read the strategy. It's a very good strategy.
What are your thoughts on road pricing, Mr. Mayor?
The transport strategy sets out our views on
What are your
road
thoughts,
pricing.
Mr. Mayor? Just so that the young people that have just joined us can hear. What would you say to them about road pricing?
Well, Chair, I've been invited to talk to the young children, so I'll do so. Children, we've published a document
No,
called the...
Mr. Mayor, please do try and answer this question.
sorry,
This is what you're here for.
I'm being stopped from talking to you, children. I do apologise.
I apologise as well, but I want the answer. What are your thoughts on road pricing?
Well, what I've said, Chair, in the transport strategy is we need to be exploring...
Do you approve of
technology.
it or do you not approve of it?
Chair, for goodness sake, I could have answered.
quite
I don't want to
simple.
answer a question. I mean, this is ridiculous now.
No, well,
Come on, just please put it aside. Just... We know the problems.
honestly, Mr. Mayor, I am known for my objectivity. I cannot understand why you can't tell the Assembly member what your views are on road pricing.
No,
Well,
it's
I'm
not.
trying to, Chair, but I keep getting heckled from the chamber, and not you, children. Our policy on our strategy on road pricing is set out in our transport strategy, which sets out we will explore road pricing technology as and when it comes on. What's clear is that technology is nowhere near being ready to be utilised. What I have been quite clear and explicit about in both my manifesto and since is what we're not going to do is increase congestion charging, which is a form, some would say, of road pricing.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Mayor.